What's up everybody, and welcome back. It's not always that we get an office worker's romance with Gapmo, but lucky for us, this time we do. Today I'm recommending Boss, Booze, and Bright Stars, which is being made by Zurikishi, and it's 6 chapters as of recording, and the release schedule seems a bit all over the place since it's a webcomic, so by the time you're watching this, there could still be 6 chapters or 12, who knows? Either way, this is a romance comedy office worker's slice of life, and it's about Section Chief Kenichi Ishizumi, who's 37, and president of Izutsu Printing, 24-year-old Reina Izutsu. And if you're wondering how Reina became president so young, it's cause her father passed away and she inherited the company, which is a lot of pressure for a 24-year-old. So to relieve that pressure, Reina decides to get drunk in Megishi Park every night and is one day discovered by Kenichi. Obviously, he doesn't know how to react seeing her this drunk and personality this different, so he decides it's best to just act like he didn't see anything and leave until Reina says her chest hurts and wants to relieve it. So now Kenichi 100% can't leave her there by herself with how she is, so he decides not just to stay, but to listen to what's bothering her, finding out that she's depressed because she feels like she's annoying to her employees and feels like a fraud because she tries to put on an act of authority because she feels like she shouldn't be in the position she is and she's too young to really be respected. But Kenichi sees it the opposite way and thinks she's admirable because she's so young and takes the job so seriously and works harder than everyone else. He even goes as far as saying he'll always support her, but with Reina's drunken state, she thinks he's flirting with him and says she wants to start as just friends before falling asleep on him, making Kenichi take her home. Reina obviously has no memory of any of this the next day, except that she talked to a kind guy who said he'll always support her, and she hopes she'll see him again if she goes back to the park. And after the morning meeting, where people were whispering during it and choking out the new employee, she's obviously back drunk in the park because everyone's talking behind her back. At least that's what she thinks. And after Kenichi listens to her complaints and frustrations again, he declares again that he'll always be by her side and that he'll come every night wherever she is to be there to listen to her vent to help support her. Reina, loving it, says she'll be there every day waiting for him before throwing up while on the swings. But this second chapter is where at the end you see that the late night drunk chats are having a positive impact on Reina in her demeanor at work, because even though she doesn't remember or realize she's talking to Kenichi while she's drunk, she does remember some of what he said to her and how he helped her to feel better, and decides to put the things he said into action the next day, like how she now greets the employees. It obviously doesn't go well though, and leads to Reina getting drunk and thinking people called her ugly, and specifically singles out Kenichi saying she should fire him, but that's all part of the fun here. And it leads to Kenichi telling Reina that she's pretty and exchanging contact info, so it's all in good fun. And that's the best way to describe this manga. And I know I've said it about other recommendations, but it's very true about this one, because sometimes you need to read something that's just fun. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's not completely over the top on its comedy. This manga has a great balance between being cute and adorable while being funny, with some real potential for story development, because after they exchange Lime info, they do talk, and Soba Reina is clearly developing feelings for Kenichi, who lied and said his name was Izumi, to allow her to continue to vent with him instead of potentially shutting down when she realizes he's her employee. So there is real potential development between the two, not just with drunk Reina, because out of all the employees, Kenichi is the one that both sober and drunk Reina is the most open and comfortable with, and is the one that both of them lean on. So it'll be interesting to see how the story goes and navigates this, and how long it'll be before sober Reina figures out that the advice and change she's getting and seeing is coming from the guy she already primarily relies on, and that the crush they both have is on him. And better yet, at the end of chapter 6, Kenichi is already questioning questioning his motivations for helping her, and seemingly internally wondering if he's helping her for her sake or his own. I'm guessing his own being his personal development of feelings towards her, but we'll see. So right now, I don't think it would be good if she found out who she's actually interacting with, because sober Reina is still hard and strict, only making minor adjustments at the end of every chapter after venting, but because of her diligence and no-nonsense attitude right now, I don't think it would end well just yet. But as a character, that drunk Gapmo is the biggest selling point of this manga so far, because she's the exact opposite when she is drunk. At least that seemed to be true at first, because the more we see of sober her at home, the more you see drunk her and outside of work her are nearly identical, which means it's true what she said at the beginning when she was drunk, that she's putting on airs at work. Kenichi is obviously the same all the time because we've never seen him drunk. He's seemingly stoic and emotionless in expression, but very passionate in his words and feelings, at least towards drunk Reina, which is another interesting part of this story because it begs the question of will he be that way towards sober work Reina? I imagine he would be the same to sober out of work Reina, but it's hard to say. We've only seen them interact in the park and at work. So maybe Kenichi will be that same kind of forward in verbal expression with sober Reina, but only outside of work? Or maybe her drunkenness gives him a boost in confidence when speaking to her because she'll only partly remember, and he's basically speaking anonymously. I'm not sure, that's left to be seen, but they're both fantastic, and it only leads me to wanting more. I don't think this will ever become a dramatic romantic comedy, but I can see it having its moments of serious drama followed up by humor. But how the story has blended it so far, I think it will be fantastic. I just want more, especially because it doesn't seem like it will be shying away from actual potential development. That doesn't mean you should expect them to get together anytime soon, but maybe them being able to have the same conversations without Reina being drunk by chapter 50s. I know that may sound long, but in manga times, that's basically around the corner, but that's still just my hope. I also hope you enjoyed the recommendation. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when the next upload is. If you want more recommendations, the Why You Should playlist is linked in the description box below. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.